Hi guys, this is slide 4, the esophagus and trachea. And right now I have the pointer on the lumen of the trachea. So the rounder, larger opening here is the inside of the trachea where I'm scrolling through with the pointer now. This one is the trachea, and this convoluted one over here is the esophagus. Okay, so the things that we would like you to see in this slide are listed in your lab manual. The first one is the stratified squamous epithelium, and that's going to be located on the inside of the esophagus, versus the next one is ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium, which will be lining the trachea. So first we're going to move over to our esophagus, okay, and we're going to zoom in on that. Okay, so now I'm at 400 times magnification, and we're going to look for that stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, so you can see here all along the inside of our esophagus, we have a layer of epithelium here. And this is obviously multicellular, and the topmost, the apical surface is squamous cells. So I'm going to try to get that a little bit clearer for you, but this is the greatest magnification we can get. But hopefully you can see that we have, first of all, obviously stratified epithelium, and that there are squamous cells lining it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to zoom back out now. And we're going to move over to the trachea. And take a closer look at that. All right, back up to 400 times. All right, so now we can see a much closer view of the apical layer of our trachea. Okay. So the pointer I have here on the ciliated portion of the pseudostratified columnar epithelium that you should see lining the trachea here. If you look closely, you can see little hairs. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can using my phone here. Little hairs lining the inside of the trachea. That's the cilia. Okay, and they belong to our pseudostratified epithelial cells. So the big thing to note here is that these are actually one layer of cells. They're all resting on the basement membrane. But as you can see, the nuclei appear to be different positions at different levels across the row of epithelial cells. Okay, so it might look like there's more than one layer, but this is typical of pseudostratified ciliated epithelial cells. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out. Okay, and I would like to next look at our hyaline cartilage. We're right here actually. So the hyaline cartilage is surrounding the trachea. Okay, so I'm moving the pointer across it now. We're going to zoom in and take a closer look so you can see better what we're looking at. But it forms sort of arms that surround the trachea in this area here. Okay. All right, so let's zoom back in. And sure enough, here we have our hyaline cartilage. Okay, so cartilage is going to have chondrocytes in lacuna. So each of these little cells here is a chondrocyte in a space called a lacuna. You can see there's like a little bubble around some of these. And this is our highest power for the microscope. I'm going to use my phone to try to enlarge that a little bit more so you can see that. There we go. Okay, so you can see there are chondrocytes in the lacuna. And another thing to point out with this slide is that this is hyaline cartilage, which is different from elastic cartilage, and that you can see that difference because there's a lighter pigmentation surrounding the chondrocytes, surrounding the lacuna here in the hyaline cartilage than there is in the elastic cartilage, which we'll look at in another slide. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out now and try to find some adipose tissue. That is the last term we have to look for. So adipose tissue is going to look like little bubbles almost. And I think we have some right here, in fact. So I'm going to increase our magnification back up and take a closer look at that. Okay. So this here is our adipose tissue, and you can see that there would be the lipid element right in here in this empty space, which has disintegrated when the slide was prepared. But you can see that there are adipocytes, are fat cells right here and here and here. Okay, so this is our adipose tissue surrounding the trachea. All right, I believe that's it for this slide. I hope that helped. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at cfry@lbc.edu.